I'm going to make a human brain, and I'm going to make this one in white clay, just because I'm going to make a mold of it to make more. And I made a bit of a research, and I found out that a human brain is like 15 centimeters. So I'm going to make my first thing here a bit tinier, because I'm going to make the swirls on the outside after I shaped my brain. And now I'm shaping it into the brain, a bit smaller on the front and a bit higher and thicker on the back, and dividing it in 2 pieces. Should be equal sized. I'm not really sure this is equal sized, but something like that. Then I put some white clay in my clay extruder with the smallest hole I have, and I'm going to extrude some of that. And now I'm just going to put some of this clay on my brain in swirls. So this is one side of my brain, and then you do the same with the other side. So when you're ready with your tiny brain, you bake it and then you make a mold of it. Now I make my light dough colored clay mix, and I do that with these 3 colors. The white in the I, the brown F, and the yellow D. And I'm going to mix these 3 colors together for a light brown. Now I have my mold of my brain and my dough colored clay, so I'm going to put the original aside, taking some of my dough colored clay. I'm gonna roll it into a tiny bowl that I'm popping in to my mold, and I'm squeezing it good down into my mold to make sure everything is on. I made a few brains with my mold and popped them out. And now I'm going to paint them, and I am going to use my airbrush for that. And I have this permanent red thing for the airbrush that I'm gonna use. My airbrush is very loud, so I'm going to turn down the volume while doing this. So now my brain looked like this. Looks more bloody, not that bloody, but still more bloody. And I'm going to glaze it. You could use some red paint with water in to make this the same result. I just like to use my airbrush for this. So that's it. Give it some glaze, and then your brain is all done. Now where I have my brains done, I found these drawers on eBay where these fits nicely in there. Actually, I can have 2 brains in one if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to take some of my resin, and I'm going to mix some of it so that I can put a tiny layer in the bottom of each of these. This way my brain won't rest on the bottom of the jar when it's done. Starting with this one. I'm just gonna let it rest. Some of the air bubbles do pop and some of them won't, but that's all fine. I'm gonna let this rest for like 24 hours and then I will be back. My jars have been standing for 24 hours, so the resin is all hardened. I'm gonna put a few of these at the side. So I have my brains here, and I am going to make some more resin for the last part of this. So I have a 50-50 mix here that I'm gonna mix really good together. And I'm going to take some of this and put on my glass plate here. And I'm making sure that my brain here is covered with resin before I place it in one of the jars. Because this avoids air bubbles around the brain or whatever you put in there where you need it. Now I'm going to place it, and then I'm going to cover it just so it's covered. And I'm gonna do that with all of my brains. Now you just have to leave it for 24 hours to dry, and then your brain in the fluid is done. And I'm going to cut the cap here so it fits a bit better, but that's it. Happy crafting!